everyone, welcome to another episode with me, Living Free Ashley. So today we're making pull-apart cinnamon bread, gluten-free and vegan. I love cinnamon buns, but I'm just not the best at making them, and it's a little more tricky when it's gluten-free and vegan. So I was searching Pinterest for some sort of gluten-free vegan cinnamon bun, and I came across this pull-apart cinnamon bread. And I was like, oh, this looks a little easier, still looks a little tricky, but I thought I would give it a try. So the original recipe is from Petite Allergy Treats. So this is the original recipe that I tried making, and it worked out my first try. So I was kind of like, oh, this is a lot easier than I thought. So I tried it a few more times and it worked out every time. So I was like, okay, time to make a video. So Petite Allergy Treats gluten-free vegan pull-apart cinnamon bread. It does seem like there's a few steps and it does take some time, but believe me, it is tasty and it is worth it. So give it a try. Okay, so there's two different sets of ingredients. So there's the dough ingredients and the filling ingredients. So for the dough ingredients, you need 1/4 cup of non-dairy milk, warm to 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Do not boil the milk. So you just want to warm it up. So if you put the yeast in the milk and it doesn't foam, it might be that your milk is too warm. So just keep that in mind. 1 quick rise instant yeast pack, 3 cups of gluten-free flour blend, 3 teaspoons xanthan gum, if not already in the gluten-free flour blend, 1/2 teaspoon of sea salt, 3/4 cup organic cane sugar, 2 tablespoons of melted vegan butter. So today I'm using these Earth Balance soy-free buttery sticks, which is vegan butter, but it's in these really awesome stick forms. So it just makes it easier when you're baking because it has all of the tablespoons laid out for you. And then each one is 4 ounces. So yeah, that's what I'm using today. And an additional 1 1/8 cup of non-dairy milk. For milk, I'm just using my own homemade almond milk. I've also tried it with coconut milk and that works just as fine. And for the filling ingredients, you need 3 tablespoons of melted vegan butter, 1 cup of apples, peeled, cored, and thinly sliced into bite-sized pieces, 3/4 cup of brown sugar, and 2.5 teaspoons of ground cinnamon. You'll also need a greased loaf pan and a stand mixer. If you don't have a stand mixer, it's fine. You can still mix all the dough by hand, but if you have a stand mixer, it saves you about 5 minutes and some arm strength. So that's what I'm using today. Great, let's get started. have some leftover dough. And what I've done, because I don't want to get rid of it or compost it, I want to use it, is I'll take a muffin tin and then I'll just layer it in the muffin tin, kind of like a cinnamon bun or like a little rosette, it kind of looks like. So that's an option too for using the rest of the dough, because you don't want to squish it in there in the loaf pan. You really want to give it room to rise and kind of grow a little bit. So yeah, so that's my tip for using the leftover dough. Here's a tip I got from watching Erin Ireland's Instagram stories. I don't know if you guys know her, but she does the To Die For vegan banana bread. But anyway, she was saying that if you're using a recipe and it says to store in a warm place, a really good option is to turn the oven light on in your oven and then put it in there, because the oven light just provides a little bit of the warmth that you need to let your bread or your dough or whatever you're making to let it rise. So thank you, Erin Ireland, for that tip. Come on, doesn't that look amazing? It tastes so good, and it actually makes quite a bit. So I usually put it into thirds or halves and then just share it with friends and the neighbors. Thank you again for watching another episode with me, Living Free Ashley. Don't forget to subscribe. Please share my videos with those who you think want some yummy gluten-free vegan goodies, and cheers to living free.